Traveling Arena, how's everybody today? It's your man Joe P. here. I hope everybody is doing alright. And it is now September, and September is National Preparedness Month. For you preppers out there, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Although me personally, National Preparedness Month is every month because you can't take time off to wait on doom and gloom, Anyhow, National Preparedness Month. So, Traveling Arena, I know this is travel channel, but I'm also a prepper as well. So the remainder of this month, every week, I'm going to put up prepper type videos. So bear with me, and hey, you might even benefit from me. Who knows? Anyhow, National Preparedness Month is here. And if you hear a little buzz, it's from this right here, from Fort Patriots, the little breezy cool fan. I'll do a video on it later. I got my windows closed to keep the sound from the outside from getting in here. I don't want to hear car horns and people music and people yelling. And it gets pretty hot up here in the set. So, I got to stay cool. All right. Anyway, first video of National Preparedness Month, and I want to tackle the age-old question that many preppers, debate back and forth, and to this day, they still argue amongst themselves. What is the best thing to do when the doo-doo hits the fan? There it is. All right. Do you bug in, or do you bug out? Age-old questions. Many preppers still debate whether or not to have a bug-out bag, not have a bug-out bag, stay in, hit the road. Who knows? And I'm going to answer that question for you right here. Yep. No need bothering and arguing. No need going any other prepper channels and going and typing in the comments. I'm going to give you the answer as it is. And not my answer, but basically it's a reality answer. And the answer to that question, whether you bug in or bug out, hey, let's be honest. It depends on the situation and how things are dictated. I mean, you never know. One or the other could be your best option. I mean, sometimes you may have a riot going on, civil unrest. I mean, we've seen plenty of that in the past year or two due to various things that have been on the news and stuff. And even now, in various countries, they're having riots over food, energy, etc. So, bugging in may be your best option. Whether you're home, you may have to bug in at work. Hey, you never know. There could be something going on right outside. At the office or whatever, or work at the plant, and there's some event going on outside. Hey, staying in could be your best option. But at the same time, leaving could be your best option. For example, if there's civil unrest going on, there's protesters, and there's rioting, and it happens to be coming your way, and you got fair warning about it, and notice that, hey, these looters, rioters, they're coming in this direction. It could be in your best interest to bug out. I mean, you got a 5-year-old, you got an 8-year-old, you got your sick mom. Sometimes it might be best to relocate to a different location. But for you bug out preppers out there, always keep in mind that you're always, well, for the most part anyway, you're bugging out the bug in somewhere. This isn't the movies where you're just going to hit the road and just live off the land, live out in the woods, live out in the desert and rough it. I mean, eventually you're going to need a place to call home. A place to call your salvation, where you lay your head. And so you may be nomadic. I could be wrong. You know, there might be people out there. You know, they're okay sleeping in a different spot every night. You know, it's their lifestyle. They're used to it. You know, they know how to get through that. But then there's many others that live in, you know, cities and suburbs that, you know, they're not skilled like that. You know, hunting, fishing, foraging. So they want to bug out, but then bug out to where? And for those of you that do want to bug in, I mean, it's natural, especially when you're in your home. You got your preps. You know your home. So you got your preps, you got your food, you got your security. I mean, you got everything taken care of. You know the land. You know your neighborhood. You know the building you live in. You know the people in the neighborhood. You know the people in the county. It's like you're familiar with it. So naturally, you know, bugging in for a lot of people is their first option. You know, they might be afraid of what's out there. You know, and if anything's out there, you know, doing harm, you know, most feel as though they have a better chance of a fight at bugging in on, you know, having home field advantage. They know the terrain. You know, they know when people's coming. You know, they're familiar with the sounds. They know who's around. They know who belongs, who doesn't belong. So bugging in, that works. But hey, despite all your press, despite all your security, you may have to bug out. There could be a fire. I mean, you know, for many apartment dwellers, it doesn't have to be you to start the fire. It could be a fire coming from your neighbor's apartment, which is, you know, spreading throughout the building, you know, the floor. Obviously gonna leave. You know, if you live in a trailer home or in the suburbs, like out in the Midwest or something, you know, tornado comes. You know, trailer park, everything is just ripped to shreds. You know, you live in the suburbs, you know, maybe down in Florida, hurricanes, you know, coming through. So you bugged in, but hold up. The roof off your house just came off. You know, what then? You know, you live out somewhere in the Midwest. You bugged in, but there's a flood. There's a flood, basement's flooded, you know, first floor is flooded, coming up on the second floor. And you're up on the roof praying that the water stops. So you may have to bug out in that event. I mean, the truth is, whether you bug in or bug out, when the doo-doo hits the fan, I mean, there really is no ultimate answer as to what to do. You do what's best for you. You do what's best for your loved ones, your family. But I will say this, whether you bug in or bug out, or you may have to do both. You never know. You may have to do both. Always have a plan. You know, always have backups to the backups to the backups. You know, me, I'll admit, when I first started prepping many years ago, a long time ago, I was a bug-in type person. I was like, you know, I'm gonna fight tooth and nail. I'm not going nowhere. They want this, they're gonna have to take me dead. And, you know, I'm pretty much still that way. But at the same time, you know, interacting among other preppers and stuff, you know, you get more knowledge in here. And you just think to yourself, you know what? You know, I'll admit I'm stubborn. That's what I am. But at the same time, I'm going to learn and advance myself and educate myself. You know, there may be a time where, I may have to bug out. Bugging in may not be the number one ultimate choice. I mean, it's my number one choice, obviously, but hey, something may happen. Hey, the building may crumble. Then what? I'm not going to one of those FEMA camps. Lay on a cot, eat a cold meal, no privacy. No, thank you. Whether you bug out, bug in, always have a plan. And for those of you that, for you bug out type preppers out there, have a plan as far as getting to your location. Have multiple ways of getting to your location or locations. I've said, okay, I'm not going to bug in. If it gets too dangerous, I'm going to bug out. But, really, I just have one location. Whereas now I have multiple locations to retreat to. And numerous ways to get there. So whatever you do for you is fine, but, there's a lot of people out there that are just now getting into prepping, because of the pandemic that happened, and the civil unrest that happened, riots and stuff, and shortages here and there. If you bug out, have at least, me personally, I always say at least 2 or 3 backup locations. Preferably within an hour of where you live, or it may get too hot where you may have to literally bug out to another part of the country or to another country entirely. Yeah, you never know. This country may be too much of a hellhole to live in, and you may have to go somewhere else. You have to go to some island or another country where it's peaceful. Hey, it happens. There's a reason why there's refugees, beating down the borders of other countries. Their country, corruption, civil unrest, famine, genocide is just too much. Yeah, they're bugging out, but those refugees, they don't got a plan. Their plan is, okay, I'm gonna just cross the border into Poland or, Israel, or go to Mexico, or United States, Canada. 9 times out of 10, they ain't got no plan. It's just them, maybe some blankets, kids on the back, that's it. So if you bug out, have, I say at least 2 or 3 locations. At least have one within an hour of where you live. And as far as the others go, like I said, they could be in another state, another country. You keep that discreet, keep that to yourself, keep that to your loved ones. Have multiple ways of getting there and getting where it's safe. And also plan, be flexible. Don't always rely on GPS. It could be a solar flare, goes off, EMP goes off, some EMP weapon, and GPS isn't going to do anything. Keep paper maps or do what I do. Me personally, keep it all in here. I don't need a map. I mean, I know where I'm going. I know where my locations are. I know where my stash spots are and stuff like that. But not everybody's like that. You may have to leave in a pinch. You may have to leave like that. You know, you're in your backyard, you're having a cookout. Next thing you know, look in the distance, here comes a tornado. You know? Or you never know, you could be in one of these countries, like what's going on in Ukraine. It's peaceful at night, to the next thing you know, you got tanks and helicopters just rolling through the neighborhood. So whether you're bugging in or bugging out, there is no ultimate answer, to be honest with you. One or the other may fit. They both may fit. Always have a plan. And if you bugging types, you know, keep in mind something can happen when you got to bug out. You know, like I said, there could be a fire, and it doesn't have to come from the neighbor. You know, you're inside, you want to conserve energy, or maybe there's a blackout. Okay, no problem. You're using an oil lamp, you're using candles. Then next thing you know, oh, Fluffy the cat got on the counter, knocked it over. You know, your pets could knock stuff over, cause a fire. You know, even your kids, you know, you're busy doing whatever. They're hungry. You know, and they cook on the stove or try to cook on the stove, and there's a fire. Or you want to bug in, and next thing you know, oh, freight train derails. Chemical spill. Hazardous materials up in the air. What are you going to do? Sit put? Breathe that stuff in? Forbid that spill is coming to your house, because you're downhill and the accident happened uphill. Speaking of hills, avalanches, mudslides, I mean, they destroy entire homes. I mean, home's your castle. I get it. I understand. Home's your castle. But keep in mind, home can and has been destroyed throughout history. I mean, fortifications, you know, they aren't 100%. There's numerous empires who had big fortifications up, thought they were untouchable. And either man or nature proved them wrong. Always have a plan, always have numerous strategies. Whether you're bugging in or bugging out, you know, safety above all else. You know, have your food, have your water, have your medical supplies, have your personal defense tools. You know, but always have a plan. And depending on what happens, you use this for your best judgment as to whether or not to stay in or stay out, or do both. You know, hopefully you got something out of it. Hopefully it opened up your mind as to whether or not you got to reevaluate your plan. I mean, if you get something out of it, that's great. If not, hey, keep doing what you're doing. And I don't want to step on anybody's toes. I don't want to say anybody's right or wrong when it comes to bugging in or bugging out. Just be aware that the situation may cause you to completely do something different than what you wanted to do. Plan A may not always work. Plan B and C might be the option between living and dying. Alright, that's my first video for National Preparedness Month, Traveling Arena. Like I said, for the rest of this month, I'm going to put out videos like this. So bear with me. I'll look forward to it, and hopefully you do as well. Even though this is National Preparedness Month, for me, and for many of you, National Preparedness Month is every month. Because you never know when the doo-doo will hit the fan, on a big or even a small scale, because the unexpected happens. Joe P. Spider, and I will see you on the next video.